This is everything I read in March and what I thought about them. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kirtana and I love to talk about books. So in today's video, I want to talk about everything I read in March. I read a total of 13 books. These are not all of them. I read some on Kindle and some on audio and stuff. But yeah, I read a total of 13 books, which actually was kind of high compared to my last few months, so I'm like really excited about that. And not only did I read 13 books, I think most of them were really good. Like, I had a really good reading month. So I'm going to talk about everything that I read, what I rated it, and whether I would recommend them to you. I started this month off with such a good book. I read Across the Vanishing Sky by Catherine Cowles. I had never read a Catherine Cowles book before, so this was my first one by this author, and I know she writes romantic suspense, so I was really excited to get into it. This is book one of her new series. I think it's called Starlight Grove series. So this book follows Bray and Dex. Bray is a single mom who goes on a hiking trip with her best friend to Starlight Grove, and while on that hiking trip, her best friend disappears, like vanishes out of thin air, and she has no clue where she's gone. But she decides then and there that she is not gonna rest till she finds her. Now 1 year later, Bray decides to move to Starlight Grove with her son so that she can continue her search for her best friend. And when she moves there, she meets her hot, grumpy neighbor, Dex. Dex is this nerdy hacker who used to work for the FBI. So Dex decides to help Bray find her best friend using all the skills that he knows and all the connections he has in this town. And that's how the story like goes. It is so cute because Dex is said to be like this really fun guy, but he is so grumpy when it comes to her. I love seeing that. I also really loved the relationship between Dex and Bray's son. I really love the found family aspect of this book. It's everybody in town, how they accept Bray and her son. Also Dex's family, how they like literally bring her into their family. I loved seeing that. The group chat that they have, Dex and his family, like Dex with his brothers. Oh my god, I laughed out loud at so many moments. I loved the group chat. One of his brothers, Orion, is my favorite, and I will be waiting for his book no matter what. He was the most intriguing character. I really loved him. So I think like every book in this series is going to follow one of the siblings that is in Dex's family. Dex and his family also have like a really traumatic past, which I don't want to get into. You should probably read it. I don't know if it's a spoiler or no, but like I went in blind, so I like reading about it without knowing anything before, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But I also really loved the plot. It was so good. I love the balance between the romance and the mystery element of it. The plot twist in the end, I did not see that coming. As somebody who reads a lot of thrillers, I thought, you know, I would probably be able to guess who it was, but I couldn't. I was so shocked. I love this book. I gave this 4.5 stars. This will not be my last Catherine Cowles book. Now I want to read everything she has written, and I also think that if you guys want to try romantic suspense, this might be a really good book to start with. Also, it's book one in the series, so if you like it, you can actually continue with the series. All in all, a really good book, and I loved kicking off my month with this book. The next book I read was In Her Own League by Liz Tomforde. This is a spin-off novel to the Windy City series by Liz Tomforde. I love the Windy City series. I think almost every book was a 5-star for me. I actually really enjoyed that series, so I was very excited for this one to come out because this is the story of Emmett Montgomery, who is the coach of the baseball team that we actually see the players from in the Windy City series. I was like really excited for this, and this did not disappoint. I gave this 5 stars. I ate it up. I loved it so much. This follows Emmett and Reese. Emmett, like I said, is the coach of a baseball team, and Reese is the new owner of said baseball team. So it is a little bit of a workplace romance. It's also forbidden. Reese is trying to like make her name in this very male dominated field so she can afford no mistakes. This was so good. Reese's character was so badass. She was the proper boss lady. I really loved how fierce and strong, at the same time how vulnerable she could be. Her character was everything. Emmett, on the other hand, I think Liz Tomforde honestly writes some of the best men in contemporary romance, and he was no less. He was so down bad for her. I loved it. I loved every second of it. Another thing is, this is a spin-off to the Windy City, so I feel like a lot of people wonder if they need to read Windy City before this. this. Honestly, you don't need to. You could read this on its own completely, but the Windy City series is so good that I really think you should give it a go. And if not, at least two of the books, that is Caught Up and Play Along, because the characters in Caught Up and Play Along feature heavily in this book. Again, if you don't read it, I don't think you're going to miss out on much, but if you do, you would just get the whole experience, which is so good. This was my first 5-star of the month and not my last. I really enjoyed this book so much. I loved being back in Chicago, back in Windy City. It was just so nice. Then I read Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. This is my first ever Jennifer Hartman book, and oh my god, I loved this. This was another 5-star for me. I told you this month was just so good. This book, I think it altered my brain chemistry a little. Like, oh my god. Okay, so this follows Cora and Dean. Dean is Cora's sister's fiance. So this is forbidden because it is sister's fiance. And Cora and Dean actually kinda hate each other, or at least that's what Cora thinks. They always pull pranks on each other and they're always irritating each other and frustrating each other. That's like the kind of relationship they have. And then one day, when going back from a bar, Cora calls Dean for a lift because it's late and she's not able to catch a cab or something. So when Dean goes to pick up Cora, they get abducted and they are forced to do unspeakable things for the whole time that they are abducted. And the whole story, the first half of the story, is all the things that they go through while they are, held captive. And then the second half of the story is once they escape, how they deal with everything that they went through. And honestly, I felt the second part was just so, I don't know, dark, but at the same time beautiful. Just how both of them get over their trauma and the things that they do to get over it and how they lean on each other. This story was so beautiful. I loved it so much. Jennifer Hartman really writes some amazing plot lines, I feel, and even her writing, it makes you feel so much. I really like this book. I did cry a little bit in the end. It was painful. Some of it was really dark, so please do check your trigger warnings before you get into it. But 5 stars. I enjoyed this. If you're okay after you read the trigger warnings, I really suggest you give this a go, because this book was, I don't know, it just changed something in my brain. I just really loved reading about both of them and the things that they go through and how they both kind of help each other. At the same time, they also make each other worse. I don't know, you have to go through the book to be able to understand what I'm trying to say, but this was amazing. Then I read Mistakes Were Made by Lucy Score. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. This was such a good, fun time. I laughed out loud so many times while reading this book. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I did this half on my Kindle, I read it on my Kindle, and the other half I did it on audio, and I really enjoyed the audiobook too. So I think you should give it a go. If you're planning on reading this, try the audiobook. It's really fun. What this book is about, this is the second book in the Story Lake series. So this one follows Zoe and Gage. Zoe is a literary agent and she represents this author Hazel, who is also her best friend, and that's the first book in the series. It's Hazel's book, and now Hazel has moved to Story Lake, and Zoe decides to move to Story Lake at least temporarily to help Hazel with her new book and other commitments she has. And when she moves there, she meets Gage, and Gage is Hazel's fiance's brother. So we kind of get to see this family in the first book, but now in the second book it is Gage's story with Zoe. Zoe is this chaotic, not very organized kind of person who just goes about living day to day and not really having too many plans or anything. She is really great at what she does, but she is all over the place, which is really fun to see. And Gage, on the other hand, is extremely meticulous. He's a lawyer, but he also works part-time with his brothers in construction. But he is so organized. He needs everything planned to the T. The complete opposite of Zoe. This is a very opposites attract kind of story, and it was so much fun. She was really chaotic in the best way, and how Gage learns to adapt to her is just so fun. I really like how they bring out the best in each other, to be honest. And it just, everything in the story was so fun. The group chats were really fun. They also had a lot of animals in this. There was a Highland cow, there was a donkey, there's a bald eagle. There's so many animals in this, and each one is funnier than the one before. I laughed out loud so many times. There are some scenes, oh my god, like I could not stop laughing. Gage's dog has learned how to honk the horn in his truck. So each time Gage parks the car and goes to like pick up something or something, leaving his dog in the car, if he takes a little bit too long, his dog starts honking the horn in the truck, which I found so hilarious. I just know this book was just such a good fun time. Like if you just want to read something that's fluffy, fun, you know, small town, has really good spice, and you just want to like enjoy and laugh to yourself, I think this would be a really good book to read. The next 3 books I read were actually part of a reading vlog that I did, which I've already posted, so I'll link it up here for you. So because of that, I'm not going to talk too much about these books because I have talked about them at length in that reading vlog. But the next one I read was My Friends by Fredrik Backman. This one I gave 3 stars. Honestly, it was not my favorite. I can see some people really enjoying this book, so I would recommend it if this is like your type of like books, but for me personally it was just not it. He did write really beautifully. I don't even know how do you explain this book. Like, to be honest, I didn't even read the side of it. It's just a story of people who are unlikely to ever become friends becoming friends. Like, it's very heartwarming, and he's written it really well that you feel a lot of things while reading this book. I did definitely cry a few times, but for me personally, I just thought it was unnecessarily sad. I felt like this much was not needed. Like, every 2 pages, I would, like, something bad would happen, and I don't know why, I feel like I didn't laugh at all. They did say, like my friend did say, there was a lot of humor in this book, but for me, I didn't really get it. I was just really sad all the time. That's why I gave it a 3. Like, it was just not my favorite. If you like Fredrik Backman books and like the way he writes and stuff, I definitely think you should give this a go because most people tend to like it. It just wasn't for me. Then The Favorites by Lane Fargo. This one I actually really enjoyed. I gave this 4 stars. This is like a modern day retelling of Wuthering Heights, so I found quite a few similarities there. This is a story of Heath and Kat, who are figure skaters. This spans many years. It's just the entire story of how they became figure skaters and what happens once they do, and like all the competitions they go through. Like, it follows their entire career basically, and there is a lot of drama in this. There's a lot of things that happen. There are revenge plots, there's toxicity, like the whole relationship between Kat and Heath is so toxic, and there are like other toxic people. Like, there's a lot that goes on in this book, but I ate it up. It was super fun to read. It also has like this mixed format kind of thing where they have like interviews between each chapter. So I've heard it's really good to do on audio. I haven't tried it, so maybe you could try that. But it was a really fun time. I actually like read this really fast because I was just so intrigued and I wanted to know what was happening. The only thing that kind of disappointed me was the ending. I did not like the ending, so because of that I only gave this 4 stars. But this was a good read. And the third book I read for the vlog was Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. This was my first book by Annabelle Monaghan. I gave this one also 4 stars. This is a really short read. Like, I literally read this in one sitting. This was a really good time. This story is basically about Nora, who's recently divorced, and she lives with her 2 kids, and she's a screenwriter. So she writes a script based on her entire life of how she got divorced and the whole relationship with her ex, and that gets picked up to become a movie. And to shoot some of the scenes in the movie, they use her house, and the actor Leo, who is like this big short actor, he's the one playing her love interest. So they meet when he comes to shoot those scenes, and that's how it kind of starts. It was a really quick read, and actually I really loved Nora's character and everything she goes through. The only reason I did not rate this higher is because, once again, I did not like the ending of this. That kind of pissed me off a little bit, but till then I thought this was really good, and I definitely want to read more books by this author because I had a great time. Then I read Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I did this one on audio. I gave this 4.5 stars. I absolutely enjoyed this, like, so much. I loved the audiobook. So if you want to do this, you might want to do the audio. This is a dark romance retelling of Peter Pan, which I thought was so interesting. So please do check your trigger warnings before you get into this. So in this, because it's a retelling and it's a dark romance, it's kind of like how the villain gets the girls. The story is about Wendy and Hook. Hook actually wants to get revenge on Wendy's father because of some other past stuff. Because of that, he's trying to use Wendy to get that revenge. That's how like the story starts. This book was just so much fun. It was spicy. I loved the plot line. The plot twist in the end was also really, really good. The audiobook also I really enjoyed, so I would suggest doing the audiobook. This is book 1 in the whole like series. I think it's called Never After or something. And I'm gonna like each book follows a dark romance retelling of a different fairy tale. So we have like we have Scarred, which I think is like a Lion King retelling, like that. There's like many, and I think I want to do all of it because I actually had a great time with this. Then I read Just Our Luck by Denise Williams. This was a disappointment, I would say. I gave this 2 stars. I honestly did not like this that much. Again, I have a video about why I didn't like some of the books this year so far. I'll link it up if you guys want to watch it. So I'll keep this short. This follows Sybil and Kieran. Sybil is this really chaotic character who believes in luck and things like that. So she buys this lottery ticket and she ends up leaving it in Kieran's donut shop one day, and then that lottery ticket ends up winning. Kieran like goes on social media to try and find her so he can give the lottery ticket back to her, and that video goes viral, which kind of goes on to like them having to fake date for a while and things like that. It was like when I read the back of it, I thought it was really cute, and there were some moments which were really cute and really funny. Like the whole plot of it I thought was really, really nice. But honestly, I thought both of the characters, like both the main characters, were good, but I did not like them together. Like I could not see them together at all. It was not believable for me at all. That was my biggest complaint with this. The third act breakup was so bad. I hated it, and I just thought that they should have remained broken up at the end of it. Like I didn't understand why they would be back together. That was my biggest issue with this. I really loved all the side characters in this, and if they get books, I will definitely be reading them. But just both of them, they were not it for me. They gave me nothing, and I didn't like them, to be honest. Next, Willing Prey by Ali Oleander. Guys, I gave this 4.5 stars. I ate this up. This was so good. This is a primal play romance, which is something I haven't read before. This follows Claire and Shane. Shane hires Claire, or basically gives her like $30,000 to be his prey for a month. What does this entail? She has to live in his house and be ready to be his prey whenever he summons her, and that means she has to like run through the forest and he will actually hunt her, and if he finds her, they kinda do it. It was such a fun read. This is a dark romance, so please do check your trigger warnings. I really liked like both the main characters. Claire has just gotten out of a marriage, so she has like some trauma she's processing. At the same time, Shane has his own demons, so it was really nice to see them together, and to see how Shane is actually so down bad for her. This was fun. It was just such a fun, switch your brain off, like good time. The spice was also really, really good. Yeah, and I didn't know this was a thing, and now I'm like very, very interested. Also, Shane's brother is there in this book, and I think the next book in the series is going to be his, which I'm very intrigued by, so I definitely do want to read that. But this was just a really fun, spicy time, and I would highly recommend. Next, I read Dear Debbie by Frida McFadden. This was a miss for me. I generally like some of Frida McFadden's books. Some I find too predictable. This one was slightly predictable for me. I gave this 2.5 stars. I don't know if it's because the last book I read by her was The Tenant, so I found it very similar to this. If you've read both, maybe you can understand what I mean. This follows Debbie, who's married and she has 2 kids. She is just a really complicated character, and she does some like questionable things when she doesn't get things to go her way, and then you learn like why she does what she does. I don't really want to say much because it is a thriller. I feel like you should go in blind, but for me personally, I just thought that it felt a little too predictable. Normally, whatever the book is, whether I like the plot or no, at the end of the book, in normal Frida McFadden style, the plots really get me, like the plot twists really get me, like I get really shocked. That did not happen in this. I kind of saw it coming, so that's why I didn't rate it very high. I just gave it 2.5 stars. I did do this on audio, and the audio was not bad. Like, I definitely didn't like The Tenant on audio, but this one on audio was actually really good. Okay guys, we're almost done, just 2 more books to go. I feel like I've been sitting here for some time. The next book I read is something that I think everyone should read. It's The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I don't have words for how beautiful this book is. I loved it. I gave this 5 stars. I'll give it 6 stars. I'll give it infinity stars if I could. I really, really, really love this book. It is not for everybody because of the trope, which is boyfriend's best friend, but I didn't mind it at all. I actually really loved it. This follows Chris and Larissa. Larissa goes for a concert with her friends, and there they end up meeting Chris and his friend group also. At the end of the concert, Larissa needs a ride home, and she has to decide between Chris or Chris's best friend Mike to take her home, and she chooses Mike, which ends up in Mike and Larissa starting a relationship. Now, a few months later, Chris and Larissa are all like thrown into a lot of situations together, which kind of makes them to start building this friendship, which was just so beautiful according to me. And it like just goes on from there. I really love this. Like the relationship Chris and Larissa have, like the friendship that they start, it's just so beautiful because they're so similar. They connect so well and they just get each other, and that was really nice to read. They also co-parent this Yorkie who is so chaotic and so crazy. I loved him so much. They name him Wolverine, and honestly I would read an entire book just about the Yorkie because I loved him that much. But it was just, this book was just so, like, it was so painful. At the same time, it was just so beautiful to read. It does have a happy ending, so there's that. The process of getting there was just so painful. The Yearning, I would say this was one of the best books of Yearning I have read in a really long time. Like Chris and the way he talks and the way he yearns for Larissa, it was just everything. He's also acts to serve as king. Like, I'm talking about Ryan Shea level. If you've read the Windy City series, you know what I'm talking about. But it was just so good. It was so beautiful. I also really loved the fact that Abby Jimenez wrote Mike's character in such a way that you can't really hate him. At least I didn't. So now when she announced that the next book is going to be Mike's story, I'm actually really excited to read it because I didn't hate him. I understood why things had to happen the way it did. But it was just, yeah, I didn't see, like, I know a lot of people thought that it kind of felt like emotional cheating, but for me, I didn't see it that way at all. I really enjoyed this one. I think everyone should read this. This is probably my most favorite Abby Jimenez book now. As soon as I finished reading it, I honestly just wanted to reread it. It was just so beautiful. I love the things that Chris says and how he feels and how he would do anything for her, like literally anything. It was just, yeah, and he always lifts her up, and it was just so good. I don't know, it was just such a good book. And the last book I read was The Lie of Having It All by Morgan Elizabeth. This is book 3 in the Holly Ridge series. I don't know why more people are not talking about the series, but it is just so much fun. It is a small town romance, and Morgan Elizabeth writes some of the best spice in contemporary romance, I think. This follows Leo and Villa. Villa is a pop star and Leo is her publicist. Villa has to lay low for a couple of months, like from the paparazzi and stuff, so she moves to this small town called Holly Ridge just to spend a couple of months there. And at the same time, Leo ends up buying a house in Holly Ridge because he decides he needs some peace and quiet in his life and like to just get away from the city stress and everything. So when they end up at the same town together at the same time, at first Leo is so angry about this because he's like, I'm trying to get away from work and now work has followed me here. But it is so cute. He's so grumpy, she is so sunshine, and they end up like working on his house together, like renovating it together, and that's just how like the story starts. This was really fun. Like Holly Ridge, I think all the books have great found family. Even this one, the way Villa is accepted into the town, and we have the main family, the King family, which is who the Holly Ridge series mostly about. Like the first 2 books are about the King family siblings, so they are heavily featured in this book also. And the way that the girls really accept Villa and they become like this girl gang who do like fun things together is just so cute to see. Like it really feels so heartwarming. I really love that part of this book. The spice was great. Villa also realizes that because she's lived her entire life in the spotlight, she hasn't been able to do like normal things when she was a kid. And when Leo comes to know this, he wants to give her all of her furs. So like he takes her to eat s'mores, they go peach picking. It's just really cute. I had a great time with this book also. I actually really like this series. I don't know if I said it already, but I gave this book 4 stars. I had a great time. I really, honestly, I'm enjoying this series. I cannot wait to read more about it. There is one more King sibling left, Madden. I am so excited for his book. Morgan Elizabeth, honestly, for me, like whatever I've read by her so far, I have really enjoyed. So I actually really like this one too. Okay, that's it. That's all the books I read in the month of March. And I actually, like you've already guessed from all the 4s and 4.5s and 5s I have given, I had a great reading month. But as you can probably tell, I did not read any romantasy or fantasy this month, which is very unlike me. So I'm gonna try and focus on more fantasy books like in April, because I really miss that genre right now. So I'm gonna try and do that. But I had a great month. How about you guys? Did you guys read anything fun in March? Did you have a good reading month? Let me know whatever in the comments below, and I would love to know more about what you guys are reading, or if you liked anything or if you didn't like anything. Please do follow me on my Instagram and on my TikTok. I post daily book content there, and don't forget to subscribe here so you can be notified each time I post a new video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!